Now, moving on to the next one. What are the restraint laws in California? My son has a BIP and still had his hands tied to a chair. And she said, WTF.
It's hard to know what exactly she means by tied to a chair. So if she's saying he was sitting in a chair and they used restraint, those plastic strips or whatever they are, to restrain his arms to a chair, I'd want to know where, for how long, what was the reason. In general, those kinds of restraints are disfavored, and if the school is using them, they should either be tweaking the behavior support plan because it's not working, or maybe he doesn't have a behavior support plan, and then they better do a functional behavior assessment pretty quickly. The law in this area is complicated. In California, we had something called the Hughes Bill. It was repealed. The law got more permissive again. There are two really good disability rights publications on restraints that talk about their use, the use of restraints and seclusion. They did one in 2005, then they did one about 7 years later. I think you should go online and read that publication. Presumptively, tying your kid's hands to a chair for restraint purposes, I think would be presumed to be improper, and I would write them a letter telling them what you know and demand that they give you a response in terms of prior written notice as to whether this is the first time or they've used restraints lots of times and why, and you should demand a functional behavior assessment and an IEP meeting to address this immediately.
Okay.
But I've seen situations where like the card therapists who are very trained will have to restrain somebody so that they don't hurt themselves, but they don't do it that way.
Right.
You know, they make sure the kid is safe. First of all, a lot of the time, what's crazy is we'll have a 40-pound kid and you don't think they have to restrain him. It's like, really? 40 pounds? You can't subdue that kid, by putting your arms around him and holding him till he calms down, or, use appropriate prone containment. But the zip tie thing, not a good sign. Not a good sign about the placement. It suggests that the adults are undertrained and getting frustrated.